Normally, I consider myself to be a pretty positive person, but I woke up this morning just not feeling so great. I had gotten a notification yesterday that said that if I didn't make a payment on my electric bill today, that my electric was going to be disconnected. Of course, I wish I could say that was something that didn't happen very often or never happened to me, but I found that over the last year, it seems to be a regular occurrence. Now, a year or 2 years ago, I would have never even considered something like that an issue or even had an issue paying a bill, let alone, a disconnect notice. But I haven't worked since 2023. I was diagnosed with pre-stage melanoma, and that's where my battle began. I was working for Kroger at the time, and I assumed, being well paid and, having a large team and having put in some significant work over the last couple of years, that they would reward me with the time to heal. But 3 months into my FMLA, I was let go. I just happened to have a conversation with my sister today about just corporate America in general, right? And take a look at what Rodney McMullen, the CEO of Kroger, made that year. Just a little bit over $15.7 million. One person, $15.7 million. And that's not even really including the stock options and additional, perks of being the CEO of Kroger. Kroger's the largest grocery store in the world. And the ironic thing is during COVID, 2020, while a lot of people were afraid to leave their home, I had the courage to leave the country, to go over to the UK to learn a new system that is now rolled out all over America, from automation to click serve, to how you get your groceries, to how you pick up your groceries, to how your groceries are delivered to you. I came back, I did what they asked me to do. I launched dozens of stores all over the US, creating ample sources of revenue. But when it came time to help me, they didn't have time for it. And I don't even think it had anything to do truly with allowing me the time to heal. I think it was an excellent opportunity for folks on my team who had competed against me for years to find a way to get rid of me legally, if you will. And that's what happened. Now, here I am 2 years later, still fighting for disability, not eligible for unemployment, and every now and then don't even get food assistance. I'm selling my house, and I'm actually giving it away at a loss now. And my secondary property in Atlanta, which was interest bearing or at least making some type of profit, which also got hit by Hurricane Helene, never got any help. Now the mold and the inability to live there has created inability for me to pay the mortgage there, and I'm now selling the house. So in less than 30 days, I don't know where I'm going to live, and I don't even know how I'm going to afford it. But the reality is I'm okay. And you know why? Because I realized for the first time in my life, I was putting too much trust in a system that was already broken and beating up myself, which was the only solution or only way of fixing that and taking care of myself. And I finally learned over this last year, and it took almost losing my life, that I got to stop beating up myself and stop distracting myself from what actually needs the attention. And the reality is, companies like Kroger, who exploit employees every day, make billions of dollars off employees' efforts every year, don't even have the wherewithal, the desire to take care of them. They call themselves a family company. They say they take care of their employees like family. But here I am, literally about to be out on the streets. Where's the justice in that? I've held on to this for way too long. Kroger wastes billions and billions of dollars worth of food, and then they turn around and charge the consumer for it. They fire employees for trying to take home gallons of milk that are going to spoil and they're going to throw out anyways. They have people arrested for trying to take home a gallon of milk that they're going to throw out. It's got to stop. We've got to stop distracting ourselves and start going after the people that matter, and start going after the people that have been taking and exploiting us for way too long. I think about this situation with Charlie Kirk and my heart goes out to his family. I can't imagine what they're going through, his kids having, witnessed such a horrible, horrible, heinous act But the reality is it's a distraction. They want us to continue to be distracted with hate, despair, fear, all of these things that prevent us from coming together as a community and deciding that we have had enough. That if we come together in love and say, I'm tired of being exploited. I'm tired of not being able to pay my electric bill. I'm tired of not being able to pay my water bill. I'm tired of looking at a disconnect notice, and start working to hire individuals that are actually going to work for us and fire these bastards that are just working for themselves. How much longer are we going to sit here and barely make it while these guys prepare for future generations? The concerns, the policies, the legislation, it's all based on protecting their future gain, protecting their future generations while the world suffers and falls apart. The reality is, if we continue to do nothing about it, we are going to continue to perpetuate this cycle over and over and over again. I, for one, am sick of perpetuating the cycle. I, for one, am sick of blaming myself when I'm not truly the one responsible. I worked my ass off for Kroger. I did everything that they asked me to do. Then they turn around and turn their back on me when I needed them most. And I'm still suffering for that 2 years later. I've reached out to disability. They want to talk about PTSD, anxiety. I got 2 different types of cancer. I've suffered from anxiety, PTSD all my life. Pick something. I've put into the system for over 27 years, and still I see nothing. So it's time, folks. We have got to stop sitting around and blaming each other. We've got to stop sitting around and saying this person is responsible and pointing fingers at our neighbors. We've got to stop running into a store and stealing a whole grocery cart worth of groceries because we think that it's hurting the man when it's only hurting us as the consumer when they raise prices. Something has got to change.